Hello, and welcome back to another episode of Break Room Banter. It's a hairstylist adjacent podcast where each week two friends who happen to be hairstylists break down our weeks in the break room. I'm Hunter Walden, your host, joined as always by my lovely co-host,
Anna Schrader. And today we have a very special guest.
I'm so excited.
Hannah.
Yay!
Yay! We're here with Hannah. So, like we mentioned last episode, we are starting season 2. And this season, Hunter and I hope to bring everyone new people to meet that either are our clients, that are fellow hairstylists. And today we have Hannah. Hannah is a new stylist, and she's very close to me because she also works in the salon that I work at, and I've been working with her for quite a while. And I don't want to give away what we're going to be talking about. I'll let her do the talking. But I just have to say she has been an amazing new stylist. Her skills blow me away. She's super creative, very kind. She does a great job relating to people, and her consultations are like spot on. And her communication skills are going to carry her through this industry, and her skills are just as good to match her communication skills. So welcome, Hannah, to the Break Room Banter.
Thank you.
Wow, what an intro.
Really hyping me up.
Well, why don't we just get to it and
Get it rolling.
Get it rolling.
Yeah. Well, every week we like to start our podcast off by building a beautiful bouquet of roses, and everyone knows that you can't have roses without a few thorns. So, Hannah, this is the segment where we share one really great thing that's happened this week and then one thing that wasn't so great, which is your thorn. So, do you want to kick us off this week, Hannah?
I would love to.
Awesome. So, what was your rose of the week?
My rose of the week was probably hanging out with my brother when he came home.
That's dope. What did you guys do?
We went out to dinner first night he came home, and then we had a little birthday party for him last night.
Ooh, fun.
And are you going to tell everyone what birthday it was?
His 22nd.
Oh, I thought it was 21 for some reason. No. It's 21. And he turned 22. That's what it is. I remember thinking, being just surprised at how young. I guess it's not that, but still seems.
And what about your thorn?
Ooh. My thorn, having cancellations and
honestly, there for a while, I felt like that was what I wanted to say for my thorn, like every single week for like a month straight in February. It was like everybody was canceling.
Yeah, there's like a season of that, and I feel like now we're in it. But I also think it's more common in the beginning when you're building your clientele too.
I would agree, yeah.
Yeah, so
it happens less and less, but even 6, 7, 8 years in, it still happens. What about you, Anna? What's your rose?
My rose is that I'm going on vacation this week.
I forgot about that. It's the countdown week.
Yep, and it's my birthday week too. So
yes,
March 17th will be my birthday, and also the day I fly out to Puerto Rico. So my head has been in the clouds, and I think my thorn for this week, I feel like my rose and thorn always kind of go together naturally. But my thorn would be that this week seemed very long to me. Like the days were long. I think I've been working extra because of vacation. And I'm sorry, Hannah, if I was a little grouch at work because I just felt exhausted. I was trying not to show it, but I felt exhausted. And so, yeah, I felt like I have one more day. I'm gonna go to work on Tuesday, and then Wednesday I'm gonna prepare and pack, and then Thursday I leave. So that's exciting. What about
That's
you,
so
Hunter?
exciting. Well, my rose is that we have finally gotten my mother-in-law into her new house, which is where
Yeah.
I am right now. This is not my house. No one else would know this, but you two. But I packed up the podcast stuff and I was like, "Hey, I got to take a break at 5:30. So you won't see me for a few hours."
Perfect little.
And
Are they still working down there?
I'm sorry, what?
Are they still working? I'm for some reason I'm imagining that your office is in the second floor. Is it?
It is, yeah. There
Okay.
I mean, there's people everywhere, all
Okay.
around me.
All
And my
around you.
thorn is that I can hardly move. I am so sore. I I was like this morning when we were on our way up here, I was like I told Bradley, I said, even my toes are sore. Like my toes to my fingertips, everything is sore. So that's
From
my thorn
lifting.
this week. Lifting boxes and furniture, and poor Bradley brought in all of the appliances by himself. And I kept asking if he needed help, but he was insistent on doing it. He said, "I don't know if you know how a dolly works, but only one person can really do this, and I have chosen to be the one." So
You pick Ollie and you're the one carrying it. That's why you're so sore.
that maybe so. Up all these stairs, girl. This house has too many stairs.
Too many stairs. Oh,
A good
well,
workout though.
yeah, who needs to really
Right?
boobs?
I said maybe I will actually start going back to the gym because everything that stopped me is the soreness. And
Well,
that's out of the way now. So might
and
as
if
well
you would
just
have
start
known,
back,
if you would have known, you would have been preparing and going to the gym before this.
you
But who knew
know,
it was so exhausting?
hindsight 2020.
Mm-hmm.
Coulda, shoulda, woulda.
Oh my goodness.
So yeah, that was my thorn.
Okay.
Uh
Well, he's all moved in.
yeah, it's a beautiful home. I'm so happy for them. They are really excited to have all this space. So it's
Oh,
great that they're here.
good.
But without further ado, let's just dive right into today's episode. What do you
Okay.
think?
Yes.
So, Hannah, tell us a little bit about your journey from non-stylist to now you are a new stylist behind the chair. How'd you get here?
Well, I started really getting into hair and the cosmetology world in when I was a senior in high school. I job shadowed at the salon that we work at now, and then I got hired as a salon assistant while I was in school. Now I'm a stylist.
Can we rewind to even before you started shadowing at the salon to what inspired you? Like, what was your inspiration to dive into this awesome, crazy industry?
I think it all started when I was pretty young, and I always had a feeling that, you know, I was really into this kind of stuff. Hair, I love to brush and braid. I taught myself how to braid, and that was kind of how I got more into it, braiding and the hairstyles, and then I got into color and cutting and all that stuff.
That's really cool that you like braiding because I know hairstylists that have been doing hair for like 20 plus years that can't braid.
Yeah,
I love braiding. It's my favorite thing to do.
she's
Really?
she's really good at it too. Like if I have a cancellation or I finish up early, Hannah always braids my hair, and great
That must
job.
be nice. I get so lost in the hair whenever I can braid. If you want two braids down the back of your head, I got you.
Hannah, do you have for Hunter in braiding?
um, well, keeping it close to don't hold your hands far down on the hair strands. Keep it up close to where you know your flipping them over and stuff. And when you're French braiding, keeping it close to the scalp too.
Mhm. I always have trouble,
Pinches.
like, back here at the back of the head and the nape. It always gets
Mhm.
bubbly on the sides.
You have to, like, tip your head down to get it in that corner right.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Imma try it.
Yeah.
I'll tag you
Okay.
in the picture. I'll post it
Tilt
on my Instagram
Okay,
or
thanks.
something.
tilt your client. That didn't make sense. Don't tilt your
Girl,
head.
I'll be, like, pushing them down like, "Ugh, get down
I
there."
always say you're gonna get your neck stretches in because I'm always pushing people's heads around. Okay, so it was coloring and braiding that really got you excited. And was there a moment where you're like, I'm gonna do this. This is happening. Or was it
Yes.
a lot of questioning before you took the leap?
Not really. I think I knew when I was in 4th grade, I actually went to the school salon at the college here, and I got my nails done. I was like, "Wow, this place is really cool." Like, I can't imagine, me loving to braid so much. I couldn't imagine making a living off of that. So then I started looking more into it, and, my mom actually, she bought a mannequin head from the school so that I could practice braiding on it,
That's
and
cool.
I remember opening that up and being like, "This is it. This is the time. I'm never gonna let this go."
Aw.
Yeah. Speaking of you saying that, opening it up, I remember getting my kit in hair school. Like, the first day, opening those mannequins out of that box and then pulling them out of the plastic. Oh, it was like, "This is it." So that's really cool. It's like, "Oh, we had kind of the same little moment there."
Yeah.
Fun.
I remember getting my mannequin and being annoyed, being like, oh, I just want to work on real people.
Oh, you mean I have to work on a doll head first? What?
But then
You mean I have to learn how to do a roller set before I can, like, put some color on somebody's head?
yes, before I started actually doing it, I was so relieved because, your first client was always like, oh, so scary. Speaking of which, what was it like
Mm,
first client in beauty school, like in cosmetology school? What was that like for you?
Oh my gosh. Well, my first client was a pedicure, so
I
Okay.
that
feel
was
like a
fun.
lot of people have pedicures as their first clients.
Good way to
I
ease into
mean,
people, their feet.
yeah.
I Jesus. I told the girls at hair school, I was like, "Do not give me pedicures." I got all the pedicures every day. I was doing a pedicure every day.
That's why you have to say you'll take anything, because then they'll give you everything.
Uh-huh. So were you nervous for that first pedicure, Hannah? What was it like? And did
I
you
I
know
was I was very nervous. I did not know who it was. She was a really sweet lady though. She would come in a lot, and I remember she pulled up her pant leg to put her feet in the bowl, and she scratched herself, and she was a diabetic, so she just kept bleeding out, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, the first blood spill happened to be me."
that
Oh
wasn't
my
you?
god.
I didn't know what to do. I just started grabbing, like, paper towel and cotton and just, like, putting it on there, and then I, like, ran to get the triple antibiotic cream and some Band-Aids, and I was putting it on there. It was stressful.
Well, like, isn't there like a certain procedure? Put on gloves and then
Yes.
if you put it in a baggie and then you double bag it and then you have to label the bag blood spill and then you throw
Yep.
it away.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Or you have to label it, I think it was hazardous waste or something,
Oh.
and then
Mhm.
clean every so I was like, "Oh my gosh, the first one." It was a really
your
great
first
way to start
client.
Blood
that off.
spill.
That's insane. So, what about your first client in the salon? Obviously, you're way more prepared by this point, but were the nerves still there?
I think I had more nerves being in that salon than the student salon.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. Why do you think that was?
I mean, I don't know. I think a lot of it it's just such a nice salon, and I don't wanna, ruin any of the expectations,
Keep on
you
going.
know? I wanna keep the standards high. I don't wanna, do something to ruin that
Right.
Oh,
because it is a great
Okay.
salon, and I love it there. I don't
oh,
wanna ruin anything.
oh my gosh, Hannah, you
Oh.
sweet. And I just have to say that like we work together as a team, and we all remember what it was like to be new. And I think if we don't remember what it's like to be new, that's why we're interviewing you because we've all been so, and everyone understands what it's like, even new clients. And that's why
Mhm.
we always tell them, we're like, she's our newest stylist. She just graduated. We have full trust in her, and you're gonna love her. So they know. With that being said, you're still new. So
Mhm. There's
yeah,
gonna
some
be
of
things that you don't know, and there's no question that's a stupid question.
exactly.
Ever. Ever. Because, uh, one thing that you have a question on that you may think is a stupid question could either ruin someone's hair, or you could learn from it, and so could the person that you're asking the question. It could be
Yep.
something that they've forgotten about.
Hmm. So
Everybody learns when a new stylist starts in the salon.
yeah, everyone. Tell us about your first client in the salon.
Like the shampoo style one? Or
Oh, I forgot. So actually, let's rewind. Because so what happened is we had hired Hannah. She started interning for us while she was in high school, and while she was in high school, legally you can't like touch anyone. So you're still like you clean. You basically do everything. You answer the phones. You clean. You fold laundry. The list goes on and on and on. But then when she was started going to cosmetology school, we hired Hannah as an actual assistant. So that position, since she had hours and so many hours in sanitation and learning how to clean, and she was legally able to shampoo and style hair. So as an assistant, we had her like shampoo people's heads for us, like if people had color on their hair and we needed them to be washed out. So
Can
what was
we pause for just 1 second, though? Because you said
yeah,
something that I think that some of our listeners are not gonna understand by learning how to clean. Some people may take that as like, "What do you mean learning how to clean? You wipe it off?" But in cosmetology, there are 300 hours of your schooling completely dedicated to how to clean your salon up to hospital standards. So you have to learn all about the microbes, the back any bacteria. You have to know all of those things before you're able to work on clients. That's what Anna was saying about learning how to clean. It's a whole 300 hours dedicated to learning how to clean.
yes.
So after
So
you've completed that and you're in the salon, I'll let you finish. Sorry, Anna, for interrupting.
she was then able to shampoo. So I guess the question, what was your first client in the salon like, is kind of interesting because your first client was washing hair for us when you were an
Mhm.
assistant.
Yeah.
So what about the first client that when they walked out of the door, that was your name on that client? That was your billboard that walked out of the salon? I guess that's
I
a better
think
question.
it was a haircut,
Hmm. But
and
can I interrupt for a second? Because it is a little bit more tricky than that. Because while she was an assistant, we hired her before she had her license. So she was already a stylist working for us before she had her license, but we just went from her just washing out our color to her then being able to do a shampoo style. So for the like couple months while she was waiting to get her license and like work with the state, she was washing and styling her hair. So that would have been like she couldn't pick up scissors or put color on hair. She was just washing and styling for like was that about a month, Hannah?
I think it was like a month and a half.
Okay. So
Yeah,
that was your first name was the shampoo styles.
yeah.
Okay. And then the first client after you had your license was a haircut,
Yes.
and you were super
So tell us about that.
nervous.
I was nervous, yeah.
What haircut
I'm
was it?
always I think it was just a solid form. I'm pretty sure she had long hair, solid form. It was a younger person, so she had longer hair and everything, but did the whole process, went through everything, super nervous. I'm always so nervous to talk to people too, like, to keep a conversation going.
You do such a good job. I would never know that you were nervous talking to people. You're such a natural.
Okay, good. I'm really trying.
She said, "My acting skills, they're paying off."
And I think what's great, Hannah, is that you aren't talking the whole time. You listen. So you'll ask a question and then they'll do the talking for you, and you do a great job of listening. So when in the beginning when I was saying how good of a communicator you are so good because you aren't talking the whole time. A lot of what you do is listen.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So what was it like for you when you were prepping for the exam? Because I know all of us hairstylists have been through it, and we'd all be lying if there wasn't a little bit of anxiety attached with that process. So what was it like for you?
I think the getting ready part and, like, the time leading up to it was definitely the most anxious part of it all. And getting your bag ready and studying for it and the drive over. The night before I took my first test, I couldn't eat anything. In the morning I could only drink orange juice because I felt like I was gonna throw up. But then I got in the room and I started doing stuff, and it wa it was like all the nerves just went away, and it felt so natural to me to be doing it, and I don't know. That's why I was very confident when I was in that room, but leading up and afterwards, it was like I was a mess.
Confidence mean that you were prepared, though, so that's good.
Mhm. Mhm.
Yeah.
So explain to everyone what tests you had to take, because in Tennessee we have 1500 hours to complete, and then we have a written exam first, and then we take a practical exam, which is hands-on. Is it the same there?
Pretty much, yeah, here. I don't think though that it mattered the order that we took it, because I know some of my classmates took their theory before practical, and I took my practical before my theory, so
Hmm.
I guess that's a loose rule now. But we also have 1,500 hours to do. Um,
Each state is different. Some I
yeah.
think
Yeah.
1,800, others have like 1,200. So each state is a little bit different.
Yeah.
So what did you do to prepare for the exam? Since if you were super confident, that means that you were super prepared.
Um, a lot of it was going over the steps and, like, reading the actual book of the steps we had to do and all that and the supplies. And then when I wasn't looking at that sheet of paper, I was trying to, like, think in my head, go back and do this and almost, like, act it out
Yeah.
without having the sheet just to see if I could do it. And I looked up a lot of Quizlet note cards actually for the theory test.
Quizlet was my
I couldn't remember
jam.
all the diseases and disinfectants and all that stuff. There's so much to remember.
And I feel like
um I'm kind of laughing at like the whole steps things because like once you are in the salon, it doesn't matter. Like those steps don't matter.
Yeah.
Like obviously
No.
important, like establishing a guide and a haircut, but like I think back to manicures, how everything was like, okay, do I soak before or after I file? Or when do I push back the cuticle? Is it like before this or that? And now it's like you just get it done and
Yeah.
have it like, oh, I forgot this tool. I'll be right back. I'll run grab it. But, when you're in school and when you're taking that test, it's like those steps really matter.
Mhm.
They do. I remember I was so stressed about dropping something
Yeah.
because I remember for some reason that was so like pushed into my mind that if you drop something, you can't pick it up during your test. If you pick that comb up, you are over. So you need to pack
Really?
4 combs.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Yes, but it's like, what would ever possess you to pick it up? It's like you've been drilled, like that's been drilled into your mind. Do not pick it up. But like,
Girl, I saw
no
3
one's gonna
people drop their combs and pick it up during the
during the.
test. Yes, ma'am.
Oh my
Mhm.
gosh!
But we all
I've never
passed.
picked.
Everybody that I took the
Oh,
test.
did they
Everyone
spray
that
it?
took the
Well?
I don't know. I was too focused on myself, but I remember hearing those combs hit the floor and seeing them pick them back up.
Did anyone do that while you were taking the test,
It was only me and one other girl.
Hannah? Okay.
Did you have to do anything on your test pertaining to nails?
Yes. Yep, we had to do a full manicure.
Oh, a
I guess
full
not a full
manicure.
one because it's, on a mannequin, but, like,
The
take
steps.
the nail polish off, yeah, massage,
Oh,
put nail polish
wow.
back on. Yeah.
I'm so glad I didn't have to do that.
You had to massage the fake hand. I wonder where my
Yes.
hand is.
Oh, that is creepy. You think doll heads are creepy. A fake hand?
I need
Is
to
it one
find
of
The
that.
those that
facial?
you push the nail into the finger?
No. No, we had to put an acrylic nail to it. So it
What?
was, like, fingernailless. Yeah.
That's creepy.
I don't think I had to do that. I
I
did not
didn't.
put acrylic nails on my fake hand.
I remember
No.
we had nail chapters and we learned how to do manicures and pedicures and then we had to perform the services, but I feel like we just kind of skipped over it because it wasn't really on the test.
Hmm,
Hmm.
Same
interesting.
thing with skin for us.
We had to do a facial, the exam.
What?
Mhm.
How long is that exam?
They're only, like, partial steps, so the facial was literally cleanse, massage, and tone. But we had
Oh.
to, like, cape and drape them and everything.
Oh, wow.
And, like, the manicures, there was only a couple steps, like, we didn't have to do anything with the cuticle but
I think the main
it's,
thing
like,
that,
the important stuff.
yeah, is that the sanitation is up to code. So like they're gonna watch if
Yeah.
you put a while you're draping,
Right.
or if you put a headband over like under the shampoo cap thing, things like that.
Mhm.
Oh, okay. See, we just
Um,
had to do a roller set, a perm, curls, and finger waves and pin curls, and a 90-degree haircut, and that was it.
you guys had to
Really?
do wave at the exam. We did so well. You didn't do a
So
finger wave.
maybe
No.
yeah, we had to
Um,
do
Or
finger
or a
waves.
roller set.
we did a lot of finger waves in school, but not at the exam. But Hannah, how long was the exam total? Like, what time did you have to get there, and what time were you done?
So, the exam started at 8:30. I got there at quarter to 8.
Mhm.
Um, and it's scheduled the timing for it is, like, 3 hours and 10 minutes, I think, and, both me and the other girl, we got through it pretty fast, so we got done in about 2.5 hours. So,
Okay.
yeah, wasn't bad.
Awesome.
And for the theory, like the written exam, what was that like? What was the part that you had said you had struggled with the diseases and some of the sanitation, like the names of the sanitation?
Yeah,
Was it multiple
that
choice?
one. Yeah, yep. So I went into a room and there were 4 computers set up with, like, dividers in between them. And there was someone else taking another test a couple seats next to me, and I remember I was pretty nervous about that one because the test anxiety was going crazy. And I had my mouse and I was shaking my hand with the mouse going over into, like, clicking stuff. And I remember I got done in I think it was 37 minutes taking that, and we had a 2-hour time limit for theory.
Wow.
There were a whole bunch of information questions that you wanna end the test and you don't wanna go back. I think there were 3 or
Oh,
4 in a row that were, like, confirming that you wanna end it. And the first time I hit the confirm and I was like, "Wait, no, I don't wanna confirm." So then I went back and went through all of the questions again, and then I went back and I ended it and I confirmed and passed, but
Did you find out
uh,
right away fast?
yeah, yep, it showed up on the computer right away, but for the, actual one, I waited actually quite a few days, but, it showed up on the PSI website.
oh wow.
So what was that like when you found out that you had passed and that you were finally like a licensed hairstylist? Because I mean, you said that you knew you wanted to do this by the time you were in 4th grade. In high school started working in the salon and like you knew that you wanted this for a long time. So what was it like for you when you finally got your license?
Well, when I passed the 2nd test, um, I I kinda, like, jumped up in in the seat, and I was like, "Oh," and I just, like, grabbed my stuff, and I started walking out because I was like, "I gotta call my mom, I gotta tell her that I passed." And so I get all my paperwork, and I go sit in the car, and then I just start crying, and I'm calling my mom, I'm like, "Mom, I passed, I did it, I passed my test." And then she starts crying, and she's like, "Oh, I know you waited so long for this, I'm so proud of you." It was
Aw.
great.
Oh, that's great.
And
I
your
called
mom,
my mom first too.
oh, I don't remember who I called. Maybe it was my mom. But that's so sweet, the fact that she was so supportive, like, she bought you your first mannequin head, and, like, I know she's been, like, your number 1 supporter through all of this, so that's really, really
Mhm.
um,
Definitely, my parents are they are so supportive.
yes, your parents are pretty awesome.
So I
So
have a question.
go ahead.
What is it like as a new stylist in the salon? And I'm asking this because Anna works in your salon. Um, how do you feel being the new stylist? Like, what are your frustrations or what's great about it or everything about it? What are your, how do you feel right now?
Um,
'Cause it's been a month.
yeah, yeah, it has been about a month. I think a lot of the things that I was so, like, wound up on in school, they're not important in the salon, and the things that are important in the salon, it's so simple, and it's not everything is so in-depth, you know? But then
So,
it's like I also have a lot of I feel pressure, but not from any of the workers. You know, everyone's great. We're a great team. I really do love it there. But I feel like from everyone else, hearing that I'm so young and just right out of school, there's not a lot of faith in me. And people are kind of like, just like, all right, I guess I'll go to her. She does it.
oh,
It's all right. But it's like,
I'm
I'm still
so
getting experience. So I really am
yeah.
grateful for everyone who comes to me. I really am.
And you know what? They sit in your chair optimistic and you blow their socks off.
Yes, and I will say that everyone that's left Hannah's chair has been super happy, and I like, as her manager, I will look over haircuts here and there just for Hannah's sake and the client's sake, and you do a great job. Like, everyone loves their haircut. So,
Period.
yes, period. But I remember so I was started at, like, a chain salon where we didn't have a manager and we didn't have anyone directing us, and we didn't have that high, like, it was like a Walmart salon, so it was totally different for me. But, I there's so many ups and downs depending on where you go. So it's interesting hearing this, your side of things and as you are a new stylist. Then, as you're moving forward in the industry, what has been something that, like, has surprised you, pleasantly surprised you in the salon? Like, that maybe you thought you wouldn't like and you're liking, or maybe something that you're, like, really and like, dread or something that's been a challenge?
I really, really enjoy doing older women's hair. I love talking, even older men too. I love talking to them and hearing about like their childhood and everything. I don't know, it's just so interesting to hear everyone's stories.
See, she listening, and people open up and they love talking to Hannah.
I
There
love
you
listening.
go.
Yes, I really do.
Yeah.
Girl, you build that weekly clientele. That's what I'm talking about right there.
She's already booked and people are rebooking with her. So, Hannah, your confidence is only going to continue to grow. And yes, you're doing a great job. On the flip side of things, what's something that you're like, "Ee."
Foils, highlights, and balayage. Anything with
Blonding.
lightener, I feel so unconfident with it. It
Blending.
Yeah.
really is.
That's just going to come over time and experiencing how hair lifts and opening up that foil and being like, "Oh, okay." That really comes with each foil. And
Mhm.
there's like so many great ways that you can blend in foils now too that are going to help you. Root smudges.
Yes,
Root
toners.
smudges. Girl, 1922 men's color, magic eraser.
Oh, I don't have the men's line, but now that you said that, Hunter, we're gonna get it because it literally
Yeah.
5 minutes
It
color.
yeah, and it's a progressive color, so it gets darker the longer you leave it on. So if you need it to be a little bit darker, you can leave it on a little bit longer. And
And
because
correct,
it's a green ash base, it's really
yeah,
natural.
I was gonna add, like, it has a very cool undertone, so it does look natural.
Well, and the point is to blend, so it's really you can what's the word I'm looking for? Transparent?
Translucent?
Translucent? Yeah. Transparent would be clear, but it's
Mm,
it's nice. It's really nice. You should try it.
thanks for that.
So, uh for season 2, I would like to add another segment onto our podcast, and that is asking Hannah, what do you have going on? Is there anything that you want to plug outside of your hair, or if you want to plug your Instagram, whatever you have, what would you like to share to the audience?
I'll give my grandma a shout out.
Oh, hey Graham. What's Graham's
I
name?
it's Hannah with 2 H's on the end and Janczak. So
Oh my
HANNAHHJANCZAK.
please say it. I interrupted you.
Actually,
And
can I ask the question again? Because I thought that you said I'll give my grandma a shout out as you'll give your grandmother a shout out.
Too, and that's why I was laughing because I thought you said my grandma, and I was like, and then you started spelling your name. I'm like, I didn't know you were grandma.
This is the
Oh
generation difference.
my I'm leaving all of this in. Everyone's gonna know.
Yes, thank you, grandma, for the support.
Also, say your Instagram handle one more time.
Okay, my Instagram is Hannah, 2 H's on the end, Janczak.
And we
Spelled
will have it tagged in the description below.
Rock
Rock on.
on some
So, as
your
the
last.
last segment on the podcast, we are going to do our hair myth. And today is my day to share. And the myth, are you ready for it? It is a true or false. Hannah, it's the format we're kind of stuck with so far. And the myth is true or false. Dandruff signifies a dry scalp.
Do you want to go first with your guess, or do you want me to go first?
You go first.
Okay. No, false.
Okay,
I
and
was
what's your
gonna say
answer?
false too.
Hannah
So the
says
answer is actually truth.
Mm.
So it says truth. Actually, the opposite. Dandruff is most commonly caused by a type of yeast that thrives in an oily environment. So, if you're worried about washing your hair every day will be too drying and cause more flakes, go pick up a medicated shampoo and wash it, like now. And medicated shampoo could be like my favorite medicated shampoo for a dry, itchy scalp with dandruff is like our dermasensitive line with Cune and the Care line. Or if they have an oily scalp, the Derma Exfoliate line in the Care.
Yeah. So you'll know if it's actual dandruff if it has more of like a yellowy look and it's oily.
Well, dandruff comes in so many forms that it's like, and dandruff is the word that describes it as a whole.
Yeah.
But dandruff is an umbrella word, I feel like. Because there's oily dandruff and there's dry dandruff.
Yeah, because so many people are like, "Do I have dandruff? My skin is so dry." And you're like, "Well, actually, dandruff isn't on dry skin." But
Right.
I always point them to dermasensitive because they're probably using some kind of product that has really a lot of fragrance, which can be very sensitive to the scalp. So
And really drying.
yeah.
Yeah. Well, with all of that being said, this has been another episode of Break Room Banter. We want to thank you guys all so much for tuning in. And if you're listening on your favorite podcast app, make sure to leave us a 5-star review. And if you're listening to us on YouTube, our secret word of the week is going to be in honor of our guest. You were going to comment the word or name Hannah with an H. Thank you so much, Hannah, for coming on the podcast this week.
Thank you for
Once again,
having me.
oh, of course. I couldn't imagine a better first guest, honestly. This
Oh.
was great. And if you want to follow Hannah, her podcast or her Instagram will be linked below. Because like Anna, she has a very difficult Instagram handle name to say. But I'm at Hair X Hunter. Anna, what is your Instagram?
Anna.sh hair.
And our podcast Instagram is at Break Room Banter Pod. And until next time, this has been another episode of Break Room Banter. Bye.
Bye.